systems of linear equation, SLE, and matrix. Okay, why we have matrix in this topic? Because we are going to solve systems of linear equation by using two types of matrices. As you can see in 1.2 and 1.3, that's solving systems of linear equation using two types of matrices. Okay. Okay, so first of all, the first subtopic is systems of linear equations. Okay, for this subtopic, I have divided into some points. First of all, we are going to look at what is linear equations and what does it mean by solution of linear equation, and systems of linear equations and solution of systems of linear equations. And after that, in the next topics, 1.2 and 1.3, we are going to see how we're going to solve systems of linear equations, how to compute the solution of systems of linear equation. Okay, so the basic, the main basic in systems of linear equations, of course, linear equations. So when we talk about equations, what do we have in mind is there is a equal symbol. Whenever we have an equations, we are going to have a symbol. Okay, then I will always use this term, left hand side and right hand side. Okay, left hand side is the terms appear on the left hand side of the equal sign, and the right hand side is all the terms appear in the right hand side of the equal symbol. Okay, but we are going to look at what does it mean by equations which is linear. Okay, first example. So we have an equation, okay, where on the left hand side it is summations of two variables. The other variables here. Ini adalah variable. There are two variables, x1 and x2. Okay. And on the right hand side is a real number 10. So x1 x2 plus x2, sorry, x1 plus x2 equal to 10. So this is an equation. And let's say we have another equations also in two variables, but the symbol we use to represent variable in the second equation is x and y. Have x and y. And the equation here is x plus y equal to 5. Different equations, but both are having two variables with different symbols of variables. Okay, boleh faham So kedua-duanya adalah equations dengan dua pemboleh ubah. Variables are pemboleh ubah. Ada dua pemboleh ubah, tapi kita menggunakan simbol yang berbeza untuk these variables. Tak ada masalah. Kita boleh guna XY, kita boleh guna X1, X2 and so on. But we're not going to use a symbol A, B, capital A for variables. Kita bukan satu kesalahan, but it's not a standard way of presenting variables. Kebiasaannya variables kita akan gunakan X, Y, Z untuk tiga variables. Kalau ada 3 variable sahaja, kita akan gunakan X, Y, Z kebiasaannya. But if it is more than 3, then we are going to use X1, X2, X3, etc. up to Xn. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay, thank you. And then we have another equation, x squared plus y equals to 5. This is also an equation with 2 variables, x and y. 2 variables, x and y. But between these 3 equations, which are linear? Okay. There are many ways to determine if the equations is linear or not. First, let us look at its graph. Okay, this equations, since it has only 2 variables, means 2-dimensional, we are able to have to see the graph for these 3 equations on xy plane, right? On xy plane, satah xy. Why? Because it has only 2 variables. Okay, I am going to use Desmos to help me with the graph. Okay. However, Desmos does not recognize x1. Okay, Desmos doesn't recognize x1. So we are going to use x plus y equal to 10. So the graph is a straight line. The graph for x plus y equal to 10 is a straight line, and therefore we conclude that this equation is a linear equation. The same goes to the second equation, x plus y equal to 5. Okay, linear equation is not necessarily parallel, but these 2 equations, they are parallel. We may adjust a little bit. Okay, so we have 2 different equations, linear equations. What about the third equations? Plus y equal to 5. Equal to 5. So the third equation represented by this curve, the green curve, this is not linear, as this is a quadratic map, quadratic function or quadratic graph, right? So from the graph, we've seen that the first and the second equations are linear, but not the third one. Okay, so this is linear, but this is not linear. Okay, and then let's look at equation with 3 variables. Okay, first example, x1 plus x2 plus x3 equals to 10, and x plus y plus z equal to 5, and x squared plus y plus z equal to 5. To determine either they are linear equations or not, let us look at its graph. Since it has 3 variables, so we are going to see its graph in a space, or x, y, z space, in a space, not a plane anymore. Okay, so we are going to look at the graph for these 3 equations in a space or in 3-dimensional using again Desmos. Desmos for 3D. Okay, so as you can see now we have a space in 3-dimensional, right? Okay, so the first example is x plus y plus z equal to 10. Okay, so we have a what do we call this? A plane in a 3-dimensional, right? Or it look like a surface. What do we call it? Maybe a. Can't you see it? That it is a linear space. Sorry, a linear plane in space. You nampak kan? When we move around. So the first example is linear. Let us compare to the third equation, plus y plus z equal to 10. Equal to 10. So in this space, the surface of the third graph is not linear anymore, right? Don't you see? It's not linear anymore. See? Is that clear? Okay, so the third example is not linear, but the second example, let's see, 2. Okay, I move it a bit. See? The space, the 3D space is limited in a box. Okay, so this one is linear, right? Can't you see? If we move, see, it's linear. You may try play around with this Desmos with different equations. Okay, so we decide that the first two equations are linear, but not the third one. Okay, so far we determine either these 6 equations are linear or not by looking at its graph in 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional. But we need to know the general form of linear equations. So without the help of graph, we are able to determine it's either the equation is linear or not by looking at the form of the equation itself. So in general, any linear equation must be written in this form. Okay, so this is a general form of linear equations. So we have equal sign here. On the left-hand side, we have variables x1, x2 up to xn. So all variables are collected in the left-hand side. And A1, A2 up to AN are real numbers. X1, X2, Xn are variables. And AN are real numbers. any real numbers including 0. Okay, any real numbers including 0. So A1 is a coefficient for x1. The real number A1 is a coefficient for variable x1. The same goes to the other real numbers A2 up to AN. And on the right hand side, we have another real number, B. B is not a coefficient of any variables. B can be 0. B can be negative. B can be any real numbers. So this is a general form of linear equation with n variables. We have n numbers of variables. Variables is pemboleh ubah. Pemboleh ubah. In two words. Pemboleh ubah kena ada space in between. Pemboleh dan ubah. Alright. Okay. So a linear equation in the n unknown, which is variables. Okay, the variables are x1, xn up to xn, is an equation in the following form. Okay, must be in this following form. Okay, where, as I mentioned earlier, A1, A2 up to AN together with B are real constants. Real constants. Constants mean pemalar. Constants is pemalar. Constants is pemalar. Real constants means that it's not a complex number. It's any real number on R, real number. Okay. And as I mentioned earlier as well, A1, A2 up to AN are coefficients for variables x1, x2 up to xn respectively. Okay. Is everyone clear?
Ya, Doktor.
Thank you. And then examples. So here are some examples of linear equation. X plus 3y equal to 7. We can see straight away. This is in the form of the equation that we have seen earlier, the general form of linear equation, with two variables, x and y. Okay, what about B? What about B? B is not really in the form of the general form of linear equation, right? Because on the right hand side, we have variable terms. The terms in the right hand side containing some variables, x and y, x and z. It doesn't seem to be similar to the general form of linear equations. However, this equation is equivalent with y minus equals to 1, right? So this equation and these equations are equivalent. Okay, and we can see that the new form of equation B is obviously in the form of a general form of linear equation, right? Where we have variables x, y, and z. Okay, so the second equation is also a linear equation. The Third example is a linear equation with 4 variables. Okay, is everything clear? Is
Yes,
everything
Doctor.
clear?
Yes.
Okay, I think it's quite straightforward, kan? Okay, now non-linear equations. Some equations which is not linear. Why does it's not linear? Because on the left hand side, the variable y the power of y is half. Set y means that y to the power of half. But in the general form of linear equations, every variable must have 1 as its power. So A is not a linear equation because the variable y has half power, set y, square roots variable. Okay, and if we look at B, okay, on the left hand side, this is equal to minus 1 sorry, I'm not sure what's the problem with the pen. Okay, minus 1 plus x times z. So z is a variable as well as x, and the coefficients of z, this is the coefficients of z. The coefficients of z is minus 1 plus x, which is not a real number because it's containing x, where x is a variable. So since the coefficients of z is not a real number, so B is not a linear equation. Okay, and C, on the left hand side, we have trigonometry sine x. So it obviously C is not in the form of in the form of linear equation. So C also is not a linear equation because we have trigonometric function with the variable x. Okay, I guess that's clear. Okay, what does it mean by solution of linear equation? Solution of linear equation. Okay, we start with an example of linear equation with two variables, x plus 3y equal to 7. Okay, so we have a linear equation here. And then let us consider for 1. Okay, where this is a point in R square. Okay, or we call for 1 as a two tuple point, dua rangkap, as it's containing two components. 4 is the first component, 1 is the second component. Or we may also say that 4 is a x component and 1 is y component, right? X, y. Okay, so here x is equal to 4 and y is equal to 1. For this value of x and y, x equal to 4 and y equal to 1, whenever we substitute the value of x and y in this variable, in this equation, okay, we substitute x with 4 and y with 1, we are going to have this equation. And since the left hand side is 7, similar to the right hand side, so we say that 4, 1 satisfies the equation. 4, 1 satisfies the equation. Okay, so 4, 1 is a solution for the equation. Okay, so from here, we may say that a solution for this linear equation is any value of AB in R2 such that whenever we substitute x equal to A and y equal to B, okay, and we are going to have the value on the left, or we may say that the values of AB satisfy the equation. Okay, is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes.
Anyone? I need a response.
Yes, doctor.
All right, thank you.
Yes, doctor.
Thank you. Okay, and let us consider this value 0, 7/3. This value is also a solution for the linear equation because whenever we substitute x equal to 0 and y equal to 7/3, the equation is satisfied. This equation is satisfied. So here we have another solution. So we can see that the solution for a linear equation is not necessarily unique. In fact, it has infinitely many solutions for this linear equation. Okay. Okay. In this explanation, we show that these 2 points are solutions for the linear equation algebraically. Alternatively, we are also able to see solutions for the linear equation by looking at its graph. So let us go back to, hold on. Escape. Okay. What graph is x plus equal to 7 x plus, what is the equation again? X plus 3y equal to 7. X plus 3y equal to 7. So we have a straight line. Okay. And the points of 4, 1. Okay, where is the point? 4, 1 here. The point 4, 1, this dot is in the graph, is in the linear line. The same goes to the other points, 0 and 7/3. Where's the point? Here. X equal to 0, y equal to 7/3. Okay, so we can see from the graph that these 2 points are lying on the straight line. It lies on the straight lines. Therefore, geometrically, we can see that these 2 points are 2 solutions of the linear equation. Okay, so we also able to see that there are infinitely many points lie in the straight lines, right? There are infinitely many points. We have other points, for example, this point, etc. So it has infinitely many points lie on the straight line, and therefore this linear equation has infinitely many solutions. Therefore, it has infinitely many solutions for this linear equation. All right. Okay. Another thing that I want you to know that, okay, if we have linear equation with 2 variables here, so we have linear equation with 2 variables, therefore the solutions is presented in 2 component points. The solution must have 2 components to represent 2 variables, x and y. So if we have, for example, 4 variables, if we have linear equation with 4 variables, therefore the solution of the linear equation must be 4 tuple. We may have A, B, C, and D as a solution of the linear equations with 4 variables. Okay, is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, doctor.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the linear equation x equal to 7? X equal to 7. What is the solution for x equal to 7? This is an equation and this is also linear. Okay. I want you to think this way. Okay. There are 2 ways, or there are many ways of looking at, of understanding this linear equation. First, we may consider the equation x equal to 7 as a linear equation with only one variable. Okay, we consider this equation is a linear equation with only one variable, and the variable is x. Okay, then this equation has only one solution, which is 7. The only solution for x equal to 7, whenever x equal to 7 has only, whenever the equation consists of only one variable, then the only solution is 7. So it has unique solution. The solution is in one component only because we have one variable. Okay, but if we consider x equal to 7 as a linear equation with 2 variables, let's say we have another variable y. So we have variables x and y. Then the equation x equal to 7 may be written as x plus 0 times y equal to 7. So this equation and these equations are equal. Okay, so the coefficients of y is 0. The coefficients of y is 0. Therefore, we can pick one example of the solution. Seven, 10. 7, 10. 7, 10 is one of the example of solution for this linear equation. Why? You substitute x equal to 7 and y equal to 10, then the equation is satisfied. We pick other example. We may pick any example of solution as long as the x value is 7. The x value is 7. And the first component is 7, and the other component, the second component, can be any real numbers. So these are two examples of solution for this equation, and in fact we have infinitely many solutions, and the solution must be in the form of two tuple. It must have two components, where the first component is always 7 and the second component may be any real numbers, can take any real numbers. Okay, is that clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we move to the next slide. So whenever we have a linear equation with n variables, let's say x1, x2 up to xn, and the equation is given as follows. Okay, let us call this equation as star equation. Okay, this is a general form of linear equation with n variables. Okay, since it has n variables, therefore the solution of the equation star must be n tuple, n rangkap. Okay, must have n components. Component S1, S2 up to Sn. Where whenever we substitute x1 equal to S1, x2 equal to S2, up to xn equal to Sn into this equation, then the equation is satisfied. Therefore, this n tuple point is a solution for the star equation. Okay, I guess that is clear. Okay. The equation is satisfied means that we can have this, where the left hand side and the right hand side is equal. Okay, so in general, a solution of a linear equation as given by follows. Okay, the solution is a sequence of n numbers. I call it as n tuple point. N tuple point. Or you may call it as a sequence of n numbers. Or we may say that numbers with n components. Number with n components, such that this sequence of number satisfied this equation. That's mean when we substitute x1 equal to s1 up to xn equal to sn, then the equation is satisfied. Okay, sorry. Okay, again, geometrically, if we are able to draw the graph of linear equation, then any point in the graph is a solution of the equation. Okay, geometrically, if we are able to draw the graph of the linear equation, then any points lie in the graph is solution for the equation. However, we are only able to draw a graph of linear equations with 2 variables and 3 variables. We have seen this earlier. The straight line that representing linear equation x plus 3y equal to 7. These 2 points lie on the straight line, and therefore these 2 points are 2 solutions of the linear equation. Okay. We may conclude in general that every linear equation with 2 variables has infinitely many solutions. Every linear equations with more than 2, essentially more than 2. More than 2 variables have infinitely many solutions. Why? Because geometrically, if we are able to draw the graph, it has infinitely many points lie in the graph. Okay, all right. So, since it has infinitely many solutions, okay, so there are infinitely many points with n tuple. We collect all of the solutions to form a set. We collect all of the solutions to form a set, and we call the set as solution set. Since it has infinitely many solutions, then we collect all of the solution to form a set, and we call it as a solution set or general solution. Okay. Example, from the previous example, it has infinitely many solutions, and we write its solution set as follows. This is a set, right? Remember in Landasan Mathematics, Fundamentals of Mathematics, these symbols represent a set. Okay, a set of two tuple, T and the first component is T, and the second component is 7 minus T over 3. Okay, where T can be any real numbers. T can be any real numbers. Okay, so for example, if you take T equal to 4, okay, T can be any real numbers here. So if you take T equal to 4, then we are going to have 4, 7 minus 4 over 3 is 1. So 4, 1 is one of the solution. If we take T equal to 0, then we are going to have 0 and 7 minus 0 over 3 is 7 over 3. Is one of the solution. Okay, but how to write down the solution? We are going to see the methods of writing down the solution later on. Okay, is that clear? So this represents the solution set of the linear equation. Is everything clear?
Yes, doctor.
Right. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Find the solution set for A, B, and C. So A, only variable x appear in the linear equation A. So if we consider this as a linear equation with one variable, so the only solution is 9 over 2. So the solution set for this equation is a set with only one value, or we call it as singleton. Singleton is a set with only one value. Okay, so the only solution is 9 over 2, unique solution. So this is the solution set. That's when we consider this equation as a linear equation with only one variable. Okay, however, if we consider this equation as a linear equation with two variables, say y and x, then the solution set is as follows. It must have two components. The solution must have two components. The first component is 9 over 2 and the second component is t. T can be any real values. Okay. T can take any real values, therefore we may call T as parameter. We call T as parameter for the solution. Okay. Okay. We normally use T to represent parameter, but sometimes we may also use other symbol. For example, alpha, A, etc. Okay, but how do we write down the solution? We are going to see that later on. Okay. So for B, we have for x minus 2y. For x minus 2y. For x minus 2y equal to 1, right? Okay. To write down the solution for this linear equation, we let x equal to t, where t is an arbitrary real numbers, or t is parameter. Okay, so we let x equal to t. Okay, so x is equal to t. Okay, remember solution must be in two component. Okay, so x, the first component is t. So what is the second component? How to get the second component? We substitute x equal to t in this equation. So we substitute x with t. So we have 4t minus 2y equal to 1. Therefore, y is equal to this value. So the second component is 2t minus 1 over 2. Okay, so this is a general form of the solution for this linear equation. And the solution set is for every t in R. Okay, I guess that's clear. It has infinitely many solutions. Why? Because t can take any real numbers. T can take any real numbers. So we are not able to list down all of the solution because it has infinitely many solutions. So this is the solution set. Okay, the arbitrary number T is called parameter. For C, a linear equation, one linear equation with three variables. So we start off by letting x2 equal to s and x3 equal to t. Okay, we have to pick two variables and make it equal to any parameter, say s and t. Okay, so x2 is s, x3 is t. Remember, the solution must have three components. The second component is s, the third component is t. Now we are going to get the first component, which is x1. So to get x1, we substitute x2 with s, x3 with t, and therefore we have this equation, and therefore x1 is this value. So the solution is 5 plus 4s minus 7t. Okay, this is the general form of the solution. The set is T is in R. Okay. Alternatively, you may also choose x1 equal to s and x2 equal to t. And then we are going to have the third component as follows. Okay. Okay. Systems of linear equations. So systems of linear equations is a system consisting of finite number of linear equations with similar number of variables. Systems of linear equations is a system which is consisting finite number of linear equations where all linear equations must have similar number of variables. For example, this system has three linear equations and all of these three linear equations has two variables. This is an example. Okay, in general, a finite set of linear equations, finite set. So it must have a finite number of linear equations where every linear equation has similar number of variables, which is n in general. And collecting all of the finite number of linear equations, it's form a systems of linear equations. Form a systems of linear equations. Let us use SLE as the short form of the systems of linear equations term, or just linear equations. But most of the time, I will use SLE to represent the term systems of linear equations. Okay. In general, systems of linear equation is in the form as follows. Okay, it has m number of equations. First equations, second equations, and m equation. And in each equation, it has variable x1, variable x2, up to variable xn. So it has similar variables x1, x2 up to xn. Okay, solutions of systems of linear equation. Okay, since we know what is a solutions of linear equation, so we may apply that understanding to understand what is the solution of systems of linear equation. Okay, this is our first example of systems of linear equation. First example of systems of linear equation, remember? And this is solution for these systems of linear equation. The first component, the value of x is 3, the value of y is also 3. Why does 3 is solution for the systems of linear equation? Because if we substitute x with 3, y with 3, we are going to have 6. So 3 satisfies the first linear equations. What about the second equation? We substitute x with 3, y with 3, we are going to have 0. So 3 is also satisfies the second equation. You may do the same for the third. For the third equation, we are going to have x plus 2y equal to 12. So 3 is also solution for the third equation. So 3 is solution for the systems of linear equation. Okay, so solution of a systems of linear equation is a sequence of number such that the system such that the sequence of number is also solution for each of the linear equations in the systems of linear equations. Is that clear? 3 satisfies all linear equations. Okay. Is that clear so far? Why does 3 is solution for this linear systems of linear equation?
Yes. Yes, perfect.
Okay, thank you. So this is how we prove that 3 is solution for the systems of linear equation algebraically. But we may also see it geometrically. To see geometrically, we draw all of these linear equations. So we have 3 lines to represent these three linear equations. And these 3 lines is intersect at only one point 3. This point is 3. Therefore, geometrically, 3 is the only intersection points between all 3 lines. Therefore, 3 is the only solution. There is no other solution. Okay, there is no other solution. Let me pick 4, 2. 4, 2 is a solution for the first equation, but 4, 2 is not a solution for the second and third. So 4, 2 is not a solution of these systems of linear equation. Okay, that's just an example. Okay. Okay, so in general, a sequence of numbers is called a solution of the systems of linear equation in n variables if This sequence of number is called a solution of systems of linear equation of n variables if we substitute x1 equal to s1 up to xn equal to sn, then the systems of linear equation is satisfied, or this is the solutions of each linear equation in the systems of linear equation. Okay, we have seen the example. And this is another example. You may check. Okay, we have systems of linear equation here, and you may check this is one of the solution for the systems of linear equation. X equal to y and y equal to 5. Okay, and all of these three equations satisfied. Okay. Okay. Not every systems of linear equation has a solution. Right? Not every systems of linear equation has solution. So a systems of linear equation that has no solution is said to be inconsistent. Inconsistent systems of linear equation. Okay. Therefore, if a systems of linear equation has at least one solution, then the systems is called consistent. Consistent systems of linear equation. Sorry. Okay. Every consistent systems of linear equation has either unique solutions, only one solution, or infinitely many solutions. So, SLE is either inconsistent or consistent. Okay, if it is consistent, is either has only one solution or infinitely many solution. Okay. Why? We are going to see that later on. Okay. Now, let us focus on this. A system of linear equation which is consistent and has infinitely many solutions. Okay. Let us focus on this. Okay. Consistent systems of linear equation with infinitely many solutions having at least one variables, let's say y, whose solutions are y equal to t. Okay, let me repeat. Consistent of linear equation with infinite. Okay, if it has infinitely many solutions, then we can see in the solution set there must exist a parameter. There must exist at least one parameter. Okay, it might be two parameters and so on, but at least one parameter exists for systems of linear equation with infinitely many solutions. And okay, so this parameter t represent one of the variable. This parameter t represent one of the variable. Let's say variable y. Okay, is that clear? Is that clear? Anyone?
Is that the
Thumbs up if you do understand. All right, so thank you. Right, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Barulah saya ada rasa macam saya bukan seorang-seorang kat sini. Okay. Thank you very much. So for inconsistent, the solution set is empty set. The solution set is empty set. Okay. For unique solution, it is a singleton. Let's say A. Okay, the solution set. But for the systems of linear equation with infinitely many solution, the solution set must consist of parameter, some parameters. Let's say T, at least one parameter. Okay. Okay, now free variable. Remember I said that T represent one of the variable. T represent one of the variable. Let's say the variable Y. It can be other variable, but let's say variable Y. Okay, whenever Y is equal to T, because T represent the variable Y, then we call Y as a free variable. This term is very important. This term is very important. So you have to take notes that, okay, whenever the solution has a parameter T and parameter T represent a variable Y, therefore the variable Y is called free variable. The variable Y is called as a free variable. You do need to understand and remember this term because we are going to use that later on. Okay, we are going to finish at 9:30. 9:30. Okay. Okay. For illustrations, to see it geometrically, let us consider a general systems of linear equations in unknowns in variables x and y. So we are able to draw the graph of the linear equations. Let's say the systems of linear equation has only two linear equations. Let's say this is first linear equation and this is the second linear equation with variable x and y. Okay. Graphically or geometrically, these two equations are lines. Okay, since they are linear, so they are lines, a straight line. Let's say L1 for the first equation, L2 for the second equation. The solutions are points S1, S2. Remember, it must has two components to represent x and y. The solutions are points of intersection of L1 and L2. Okay, the solution for the systems of linear equations are any points which are intersections of L1 and L2. So there are three possibilities. First possibility is L1 and L2 are parallel. L1 and L2 are parallel, so there is no intersection. There is no intersection, therefore no solution. Okay. And the second possibility is it intersects at one point. Whenever it intersect, it's going to be intersect at one point only. So the second possibility is the systems of linear equation has only one solution. And the third possibility is, yep. Okay. The third possibility is these two lines lie on the same lines. For example, if you consider x plus y equal to 2 and 2x plus 2y equal to 4. These two examples of lines, these two examples of linear equations is going to lies on the same line. So there are infinitely many intersection points. So it has infinitely many solutions. That is why there are only three possibilities for solutions. It's either has no solution or has only one solution, or it has infinitely many solutions where parameter exists. For this case, parameter is only one parameter. So where are we now? Okay. What is the method to solve a system of linear equation? What is the method to solve a system of linear equation? Solving systems of linear equations means that we are finding all solutions for the systems of linear equations. Okay. And the method to find the solution is going to be in the next section, 1.2 and 1.3. Hold on. So we are in okay. We are only half. Okay. So let us continue. Let us continue. So 1.2 and 1.3 are two methods of solving systems of linear equation using a matrix. Using a matrix. Remember, a matrix with elements A, B, C, D, E, F, etc. Okay, solving a system of linear equation with a matrix. Here is a general method of how to solve systems of linear equation using a matrix which is called the augmented matrix. The augmented matrix. Okay, first we have to compute the augmented matrix for systems of linear equation. Okay, doesn't matter what augmented matrix is, but every systems of linear equation has unique augmented matrix. First, we need to compute. We need to determine the augmented matrix. Okay, then in the second step, we have to do something. We have to perform some operations on the augmented matrix. We have to perform some operations on the augmented matrix. Okay, you may recall that what are the arithmetic? Operations on matrix. If A and B are matrix, we are going to have A plus B, right? Addition. Addition is one of the arithmetic operation on a matrix. We may also have A times B. We can also have AB. You can also have AB if A is M times N matrix and B is N times N matrix. And we also have a scalar multiplication. So far we have 4 types of arithmetic operation on a matrix. However, these are not operations that we are going to use. They are very special operations on the augmented matrix, which we call it as elementary row operations. We are going to perform some elementary row operations on the augmented matrix. Okay, that's in the second step. This is just the first picture of how to solve it. Okay, so first we computing the augmented matrix for the systems of linear equation, and then we perform some elementary row operation on the augmented matrix to reduce the augmented matrix to a special form of a matrix. We want to turn the augmented matrix into a special form of augmented matrix we call as reduced echelon form. Reduced echelon form matrix. Or we may also turn the augmented matrix into REF is row echelon form. Row echelon form, and RREF is reduced row echelon form. We are going to look at that from later on. Okay, so we changing. We change the augmented matrix into a special form of a matrix called REF or RREF. Okay, by using a method called Gaussian elimination or Gauss-Jordan elimination. These are methods. Gaussian elimination is a method of performing some elementary row operations on the augmented matrix to transform augmented matrix into REF form, or using Gauss-Jordan elimination to transform augmented matrix into RREF form. Okay, and then whenever the matrix is in this form, we can easily solve it. Okay, we are going to see that later on. This is just the picture of this, how we're going to solve it. So let me repeat. To solve systems of linear equation using augmented matrix, we use a method called Gaussian elimination. It's either Gauss-Jordan elimination or Gaussian elimination. This method reduces augmented matrix to RREF or REF augmented matrix using some steps in Gaussian elimination. And in this method, we use some operation called elementary row operation. Okay. There are 2 types of elementary row operations. We are going to look at that later on. Okay, so in subtopic 1.3, we are going to look at these 4 terms. Augmented matrix, RREF and REF matrix, What does it mean by a matrix in the form of reduced row echelon form? And what does it mean by a matrix in row echelon form matrix? And what does it mean by elementary row operations? How do we perform elementary row operation on the augmented matrix to transform the matrix into RREF or REF? Okay. How to do that? What steps do we need? It is given by Gaussian elimination method. Gaussian elimination method is a method step by step to transform augmented matrix into RREF or REF by performing some elementary row operations. Okay, I think that is enough. I think that is enough. Is that okay? I'm going to stop at this topic.